This is Marcy Penner for Two Peas in a Bucket with another Project Life video for you this week. And my starting point for my spread this week was this journaling card, and it actually came on a sheet from the new cut and paste Amy 10 collection from American Crafts. And it's just a journaling card, and it comes on the back of a 12 by 12 sheet of paper, so you can just trim them off and use as you like. So I thought what I would do is I would take a card and use that as inspiration and the basis for the rest of my spread. So my challenge for you this week is to find a card either from a Project Life core kit or from a 12 by 12 sheet of paper and start in and using that as your inspiration for the week. So what I did and start with, and what's easiest for me, is I took a look at the colors and I started from there. So I wanted to pull in any of the kind of greenish aqua, the fuchsia, and then I liked the gray from the pencil. So that's where I started, and that led me to this paper from my mind's eye. And I'm just going to start right in here. And I'm still working with those photos from my last week that I had printed out without expanding to the full 6 inches. So I'm still deciding if I like that or not, but so far so good. So I'm just going to take my photo and just glue it down. And there isn't a lot of room for journaling, so my solution always is for adding a tag. So tags or labels. Those are my go-tos, it seems. I'll just trim off the rest. Okay, and I have a Studio Calico wood veneer scissor. So I think what I'll do is, I don't have a lot of journaling, just a little bit, so I'll leave a little bit of room, and I think I'm just going to stick that in the top corner, or, nope, top corner. And then I'll add just a little blurb to that later, and I think I might sew around that, I'm not sure. I will leave it at that. I wanted to make sure that I brought in some neutrals too, because I thought if I had everything just fuchsia and aqua, that would be a little distracting. So I got this, I believe, let me check, I believe it's from the Pier collection. Yes, okay, so it's the number paper from the Crate Pier. And I thought it went well with the whole school idea with the numbers, so we started homeschooling already in August. We started a little early this year. And I think I'm just going to put that mostly on the left, I guess, a little bit. And then I have a School Days wood veneer, also from Studio Calico, and a label. So I'm just going to work with placing those. Okay, yeah, I'd like that on the right side. So this is I believe it's from Woodland Park, a little label, and then miscellany, I believe. And it has a little flower, and I don't want that, so I'm just going to use the reverse. And I don't want to cover too much of the picture, so I'll do that there. And again, I just have a little, I'll probably just do first day of school or something, and I'll maybe add a few little stars yet later once I've sewn. And I have this musical chairs from October Afternoon, which I'm debating about sticking on. And I think I will, because we do our schooling in the dining room and we're forever rotating and stuff. And okay, so you can't see a lot of it, but I just like the extra dimension and layering that it adds to the side, so I think I'll leave that there. Okay, now we have, I came across a website, and it is a homeschooling website, but they do some free classes, and they actually have a free Lego class. Go figure. And it's once a month, so I'm signed my boys up for that, and so in this photo they're doing their first course. But I neglected to say why I chose this paper here. This is from the Card Postal line, and it's kind of like subway routes and tracks and stuff like that, that I thought, knowing that I was going to mat it enough, it had the right color, and knowing that I was just going to use it as a mat, I thought in my brain it kind of looked like the network and all the wires in like a computer chip. So that is why I chose this one. So like I said, it looks close enough when you cover up most of it. So for this one I just wanted to add a little bit of layering, so I folded a piece of just graph paper, and I'm just going to glue it on top of this kind of bluish chevron. And I'm using the white because when I had it on without, it just seems to need that little break from this pattern to that pattern. Otherwise it was just too dark, and I'm going to have to trim that down quite a bit, but I will do that later. And again, I just have a little bit to say, so I took a label from the Travel Girl, I think. Nope, sorry, this is Farm Girl. And I put it on a piece of copy paper and just trim it out, and then I can move it around wherever I like without committing to anything. So I'm just going to add that down here too. And I think, again, once I've sewn, probably what I'm going to do, I think, is I'm going to sew across the bottom here. Underneath the stitching, I'll stamp the date, and on top of the stitching, I'll journal. I seem to like having a sewing line separating the date from the text. I have no idea why, but that's what I like to do lately. And once I'm done sewing, I'll probably add some enamel dots and other more three-dimensional embellishments. So I wanted to grab one of these arrows. Luckily that teal one is next. So this is from a roll of My Mind's Eye washi tape. I like the My Mind's Eye tape because you get so many of them. The newest pack that I have is the cut and paste with the wood grain. And I'm not using it on this project, but I like that you get 4 different styles that kind of go together and match. So that one is done. And moving on, I have a photo of grocery shopping, because why wouldn't you take a photo of yourself grocery shopping? I hate grocery shopping, but it's a big part of my week, so I thought that kind of represented it well. And so to back it again, I pulled in, this is not an exact match, it's a little more red than this, but in such a small piece I figured it was fine, and it kind of goes with everything. So this is cut and paste again, and I'm just going to use that as a mat, and glue my photo down. I like to leave a little strip on both sides if I can. Just because. Okay, and then I have this is from, I don't have the full sheet on me, but this is from Maggie Holmes Flea Market. And it's a whole 12 by 12 sheet filled with little tickets, and it's really, really cool, and I love cutting those apart. And this is, I believe, another one from the set. So if you picture a paper just full of little colored tickets and numbers and things, and I think it's so versatile as almost treating it like die cuts and not a sheet of pattern paper, although the back is cute too, but I bought it for all the tickets. So I looked for anything that was kind of like money related or shopping related, and so this is what I came up with, and actually that is probably very close to the price of milk right now. So I'm just going to stick that in the corner. It's a little bigger than I would like. It covers up a lot of my picture, but I'm just going to go with it. So, and so then I also pulled a red arrow. I could have pulled in a pink, but I just thought the red had a little more punch. I don't think I'll put it there, and then I typed out just a little, just says grocery run, so I'm just going to play around with where I want that. I think I'll just tuck it under the arrow, and then I also have a 5-cent brad from October Afternoon Midway. And so I'm going to just hold it upside down and just kind of see where I want it. I was debating if I want it right in the middle of my arrow or not. And that almost seems a little too perfect for my normal style. So that was my original plan, which I think would be really cute, but I think I like it a little more haphazard. So I'm going to use it to hold down the other end of my little journaling. Okay, so I'm just going to poke a hole. And I know a lot of people actually break off the tongs, of their brads when they use them, but that seems like a lot of work for me. So I'm just going to go with this and make sure that my journaling tucks under it a little bit. I was hoping to get away with not adhering that, but it looks like I will have to a little bit. Okay. Yep, I like that. It has nothing to do with anything other than it's money related, but I'm good with that. Okay, so now I'm going to go through my small pockets. And I have a box that I get my kids to throw memorabilia in, and this was thrown in my box, oh my goodness, I would say like almost a year ago. No kidding. And I just never got around to using it. And as I was going through my photos, I had a lot of empty spots this week, and when that happens, I just go through the box and grab things that haven't had a chance to show up in a spread yet, and this is just one of them, and it didn't actually happen this week. I'm not going to let it worry me, and I did want to include it somewhere, so I'm just going to put it in here. This is My Mind's Eye paper, and originally I trimmed it to size to use this gray in coming back to my card here. And then I saw the back, and I like the I don't know what it is. I don't like hot air balloons, but I just liked the color, and I liked the style of illustration, and I liked how it like came off the card a little bit. I thought it was cool. So I'm going to use that instead, and I'm just going to stick this in the middle. And I don't know that I'm even going to say anything. Probably I'm just going to leave it like that, because I don't want to go back and figure out what day that was and whatever. So I think that's just where I'm going to leave that one. And my next picture is of some house plans. When we dream of building a house. And this is from Travel Girl, and I like, this is from the 8x8 pad, excuse me. And so I just trimmed out a sheet, and I like that it's ledger. So I'm just going to use that, and again, it kind of had the bluey green, and I'm just going to stick a wood veneer house in the corner. And I think I'm just going to journal directly on here, and I'll probably stitch across the top and leave that one done. I think this one I'm going to staple down, so perfect. In the printables this month from Hello Forever, you get an October card. And this spread did not take place in October, so I'm going to be using an August card. It's not the one that's available in the shop. The one that's available in the shop right now is October, obviously, but I figured you get the gist and you'll forgive me for doing that. So, like I said, I had a lot of empty spaces this week. I had 3 here once I had pulled out my pictures, and then I had a few here too. So, to solve that, I used an older piece of memorabilia. I chose a card to base the whole spread on, and when I do have the extra space, I like to include a month marker or like a week in review card. And so another one of the printables with this set is this gray stripe. So I'm going to use that for the background of this next one. And this next one is just a picture of some campers that we sometimes like to pretend we want to be campers and we go look at. And then we don't actually do anything about it. But anyway, it was a cool shot, I thought. So I wanted to include it on here. And I'm going to take a tag and put it on the top for my journaling. I'm just going to trim off the back. I could leave it folded over, but it's just going to add a little bit of bulk to that pocket, and I don't want to stress them out too much. Okay, so I have my photo and I have a place for my journaling. And then I grabbed these two. I knew for sure somewhere I had something with a camper on it, some sort of embellishment. And for the life of me, I cannot recall what line it would be or what. So the closest I found is from the Here and There Studio Calico collection. I have a little VW bus. And it's not a camper, but I'm fine with that. I still think it's cool and it works. So I'm going to play along with that and a freckled fawn cloud. And okay, they're not both going to fit, so I would prefer that. And I like it overlapping the middle circle a little bit, and then I still have room for journaling. So add another hole. I may sew, actually I probably will. I probably will sew across the little hole, the reinforcement, so I will have to take this out shortly. But at least I'll remember to put it back in this way. Okay, and I'll just add my journaling on the top. And these are the rest are filler. So, like I said, coming into this week, these are the only two photos I actually had. I've been very busy lately and not taking the same amount of photos since we started school. There just hasn't been a lot of time. So, with my old memorabilia, I also have some new pieces. These would ordinarily be in a future week, but I needed them really badly now. So I'm going to put them in now. These are just some drawings my boys did. And then as filler again, I also found this quote card in the Project Life Jade collection. And what I like about it is it matches, like bang on, like fate. So, so I'm going to put those in. So a lot of filler in those weeks, but it had to be done. So, okay, moving on. My husband gets mistaken a lot for one of the Duck Dynasty guys. So this is my youngest with his felt beard, and my husband with his real beard, and their Duck Dynasty shirts, and this was the season premiere of this year. So I have a larger element I want on this side, so I'm going to move my photo all the way to the side. And because he gets mistaken a lot when we go south, the kids jump out of vehicles at gas stations and ask him, and at Disney we get pointed at and whispered, and it's quite funny. So I found this as seen on TV stamp from Basic Grade. And I could use a lot more of these. They come in, if I can find them in my pile. Okay, too much mess. But it comes in a sheet, and actually here's the hipsters one. It comes in a whole sheet of different little stamps. You can get 2 sheets, and all that I've used is both of these. So obviously I need quite a few more TV related items. So I'm going to put that in the corner. And then I also found a little mustache from the hipster buttons. So I'm going to try to work that in. And then I have my journaling. So now I'll play with these and see where I'm going to put these. So that gets covered up over there. I'm going to move it to the edge. I think I have a feeling I'm going to end up putting it along the bottom or on this far side, probably. Okay, so I'm going to glue this down. You can actually lift them, but I'm just going to glue it. And I think I'm going to add this just right on top. And I think I'm going to stack a star on top of that yet, so I will use some thread to sew that down yet. And this is a black die-cut star from the new Here and There collection from Studio Calico. You get a whole packet of different sizes and different colors of parts, so I think I'm just going to, just to go with all the black here, I think I'm just going to stack that on top as well. And I'll just staple it down. Okay, and now with my journaling, yeah, I think I'm just going to run it up the side. Okay. Okay, and yeah, I'll sew on top of there yet. In my little homeschool room, I have a set of stamps that actually came from my favorite grade 3 teacher. When she retired, I was going through university getting my BEd, and she called and offered me a whole bunch of her school stash, and so I love them, and I use them with my boys on their schoolwork. So this one started with this Finley paper from Glitz, which is awesome, and I think the paper is oriented with arrows going down, I think. I rotated it so that the arrows would point to my photo, so instead of using it like that, how it came on the sheet, I just trimmed it off this way. So be conscious of elements like that on your pattern paper. I think they can make a big difference when you're actually creating your spreads. So, so it started with this, and I had my photo on here, and it was just far too busy, and my photo didn't stand out at all. So I chose the pink in there to match the photo with. So that was the rationale behind that one. Okay, and then this one is just going to get, this is a My Mind's Eye, I think Alphabet Soup. It's an older line. But, okay. So I'm going to map that in the corner, and I've got my arrows pointing to it. And so then I gathered a bunch of tags, labels, things like that, because this is obviously far too busy for me just to journal on. So I have to fill that up with something that's a little more solid. So I added a tag, and then I have these strips from Dear Lizzie. They would be from, I'm wanting to say Lucky Charms collection. I'm still waiting for my polka dot party to show up at my door. So I liked this one. It was a neutral, and it had lines for journaling. So I'm just going to play with that. And this is from the That Away collection. Pardon me. This is from Here and There collection. So this is a bit older. But I'm just going to play with that. And I do want to tell the story of where the stamps came from, because that is the whole point of this photo. Okay, so I'm going to start gluing these down. Again, these are stickers that I stuck on, this one isn't, this is a sticker that I stuck on a sheet of cardstock so that I could move it around. So that is why I'm adhering it. Normally, if you weren't an indecisive person, you could just slap that down and be done, but I usually can't make up my mind that quickly. Okay. Okay, and then I'm just going to add one of the Studio Calico Atlantic glitter stars. I think I'll just overlap it a little bit there. Okay, so I'm going to come back with, depending on what I want to say, I'll either do my journaling just on the bottom and use this top one for the date, or I'll use the whole 2 pieces for my journaling and do the date somewhere else. So once I get done with my sewing and do my journaling, I'll decide on that. But either way, there's enough room there. Okay. I have another sheet from the Pier collection, from the 6x6 pad. It has the coral in there, similar to the pink, but because it's on the kind of white, or the off-white yellow, it's it looks a little more muddy, and I considered changing that out because it was so similar to the table, but in the end I just left it, and I think it will work out. So again, I'm going to bump this one over to the side. And I typed out my journaling, and when I typed it out, I made sure that it was 4 inches wide. My intention being I was going to run it, just like I did this one, run it down the side, because I didn't want to cover up really anything in this photo. This is another school photo, but we started before my daughter went to high school. So she was home when we were trying to do school, and that was a little bit more of a challenge than I had intended. So I pulled from the basic grade capture line, one of the sticky notes. I liked the happy face, and I liked that again it was the blues. So this whole time doing these spreads, I'm keeping that color scheme in mind. And I think there was a post on the message board, and I don't have my paper in front of me, so I can't even say who posted it, just about how to mix in core kits with other kits. And I think that's a good way to do it. If you take a core kit, or a card from a core kit, take a look at the color scheme, and then use that. I know this isn't from a cord kit, but you get the idea. And take this color scheme and just build your spread off of that and find other embellishments. And I think that that's a good way to get out of the, oh, I just have to use the cord kit and nothing else. And at least that's how I do it. This paper is from the Capture paper pad. I'll have to check, but it's an odd size. It's like 6 by 8 or 6 by 9 or something. So I trimmed it down to fit. And I have a series of small photos I printed out side by side of a girls' scrapbooking day that we had recently. And it had been a very long time. So what I decided to do was take some tags beneath the photos, because they take up such a small amount of space, and make kind of a grid. Okay, like that. And so this will house the journaling, and actually I'm going to move this over a little bit. The journaling and an embellishment. So I think I'm going to have them end at the same spot. So there. This tag is from American Crafts as well. I think tags are a staple. There's really no shame in having lots of tags. Okay. I have a ampersand from Studio Calico, and I'm just going to stick that in here. And then I was going to journal in here, but when I was kind of tidying up a little bit from the same pack that the sticker is on, I found this floral one. And I don't use floral a lot, but I liked that it was these colors. The ledger is the teal, and this was the pink. And so I used this to add that in. So I think I'll journal, and I think I'm just going to add this somewhere. Okay, I'm just going to add it at the bottom. And I'm going to butt this one up to the side, just like the tags are. Okay, and then we'll trim everything off. Okay, so that's where that's at. And I think I'm going to staple this one, and I think the other tags out. Okay, so there we go. I will do my sewing and my journaling, and then I will come back and finish off with some enamel dots and other three-dimensional shapes. Okay, so I have my sewing and my journaling done. I didn't sew the mustache button down. I just used my tiny attacher. I was not feeling very ambitious with that. So now I'm just going to add some dimensional embellishments. Some of these, some basic gray stars, enamel dots, some chipboard buttons and stuff. And just add that now that I've finished my stitching. So I'm going to add, let's see, where do we want some? I'm going to put some there. And this is, I'm not feeling that part, so I'm going to see if some dots can help that. Okay, that's kind of close to the right color. Okay, I'm going to actually throw in a totally random color, I think. Let's do some yellow. Okay, so stick one there, and oh, for this one I just stamped directly on the wood veneer and it worked fine, if anyone was curious. Okay, so yeah, I don't like this. It didn't really space correctly, so I'm going to add some other things so that it doesn't look like it just didn't come together correctly. Okay, so I'm going to add a star right in there, and already I think that's a little bit better, and I'm going to see. Okay, so that's kind of a little hodgepodge of things, but it works. Okay, and let's see where else. I'm going to put some enamel dots here, I think. So let's do the kind of pinky color. These are from the cut and paste line. I think I'll do another one there. Let's do, well, let's add in maybe that yellow. Let's take it from the, actually let's add a black to tie in that black, why not? Okay, so let's add a little black one from, this is from Teresa Collins. Okay. And, okay, I'm actually going to leave that. That's fine. I think I'm going to add maybe one here. And then I think I'm happy with everything else. Okay, so let's do one of the pinks. Let's do a small one. Okay. Now I think what I'm going to do, I'm just going to check, these aren't, I'm going to see if it bothers me to switch the order, just so that my dates run correctly, and if it bothers me then I'll put them back. So let's see. I'm always up for some last minute arranging. Okay, I don't like these blues together, so let's, nope, I don't like those together. Okay. Alright. Okay, so I think I'm happy with this. So again, my challenge for you today is to start with a pre-made journaling card or a core kit and build your entire spread off of that. So yeah, I encourage you to post them up in the gallery and let us all ooh and ah over your creative marvels. And so yeah, so thanks for joining me this week for another Project Life video, and have a fabulous weekend.